What's up, everyone? It's Evan here from the Lunch Table Podcast. Today I'm being joined by my two co hosts, one of whom you have met, Braeden,
What's up?
and a new guest today, my good friend, Brian.
Hello.
So today we have the reason we have this new lineup is we're the only people in our immediate friend group who have seen Inside Out 2. And I figured this is, a movie related channel, so why not capitalize on it? So, right off the bat, I have seen it twice. Kind of impulsively because I saw it once during the premiere and once again today because we were getting our carpet steam cleaned and I had to get out of the house. So that's kind of what happens when you have a Regal Unlimited subscription. So the second time, actually, I saw it with Braden and his other friend, Blake.
You're
So,
welcome.
yeah, what were your, immediate thoughts on it?
It was alright.
'Cause this is going to be a really short episode if you don't elaborate.
I mean, I don't think it was as good as the first one. Uh, I'm not a movie guy. I thought it was pretty chill. I think they did the puberty emotions really well. Like, honestly, embarrassment's my boy. Like that guy talks some real shit. Honestly, he's like my spirit animal. Honestly, that's my main takeaway.
All right.
Embarrassment was chill.
All right. All right. I fuck with that. What about you, Brian?
Well, I will say Pixar delivered for me at least.
Didn't you
The
give it a 7.8 out of 10, or was that Luke?
I was
Okay.
I gave it an 8.5.
Okay.
I I there were aspects of it that there were at least a few aspects of it that I thought could have been better. But in terms of animation quality, style, etc., it definitely delivered.
Right.
A clear upgrade visually for the first. I think the plots I might give a slight edge to the first, but honestly, pretty close to on par.
Okay, so you're both in agreement that the first one edges out the second one.
The first accomplished more
Yeah.
for the time than what this one did in 2024.
What year did the first one come out? That was let me pull it up.
At least it's been a while.
2015. Okay,
Damn.
so it's been 9 years. That's kind of crazy. It's actually crazy because I saw a post online, and I doubt that this was intentional, but it was basically saying that Pixar waited for all of us to grow up until they released the second one. Because the first one, Riley's what, elementary age, and now
Yeah.
she's 13. And I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, I think the real reason they waited was because they wanted to do a legacy sequel that they knew would bring in money. But it's a nice, it's a nice thought at least.
My
Well,
only
every
complaint with
money.
this, no, you get. My only complaint with the movie really was that, what our friend Blake said, they kind of just learned the same lesson, just over again.
From the first one, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just learn that you have to embrace other emotions, and then in the second one, they learn that you have to embrace other emotions, and it's like there was no lesson learned from the first one, because in the first one, she had to learn that sadness was okay and you could have mixed emotions. But right off the gate in the second one, she's like, anxiety, get the fuck out of here. We don't need you. And she booted her, and the lesson was not learned at all. The first movie couldn't just not have happened, and the events of the second movie would have played out exactly the same.
I mean,
Honestly,
I agree with you and Blake on that, but I would also argue that I don't know. I feel like anxiety was causing more harm than Sadness was in the first one. I mean, like in that, and by the way, we're gonna be going into some spoilers in this episode, so you just bear that in mind. But
No way.
yeah. But you remember how like in the end she's like sitting off to the side like she was penalized for 2 minutes, and her heart was like ramping up or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like at least to me that gave me the impression that she was about to have like a heart attack or whatever if Joy didn't like interfere. Whereas I don't think Sadness ever caused any like health concerns to Riley, if that makes any sense.
Well, she was literally about to run away,
Well,
like to no man's land.
she was, but that like she wouldn't have died directly because of that necessarily.
Well, you never know.
Like yeah, I mean like you could go off on a tangent on what ifs that would happen from some little kid running being on their own in San Francisco. We won't go into that, but like obviously that could indirectly cause her harm or worse. But
A lot worse.
yeah, but like anxiety in the end of this one, like I feel like she was literally at the very least gonna give Riley like an actual like heart attack.
I guess, but like, it's still the same lesson. Like that doesn't change the fact.
I mean, Evan is. I'm going to agree with Evan here. If anxiety had been allowed to continue, she would have been dead right there.
Okay, not to be grim, but I feel like, you know, I feel like, well, why did she run away in the first place? Because it was the three of like fear, anger, and disgust that made her run away.
Yeah, it was like everyone but Joy, if
All
I
right,
remember
so
correctly.
and I think sadness was with joy, right? Like she didn't have any
Yeah.
sadness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like fear, anger, and disgust could also lead to death. I feel like if you have zero joy in your life, that could lead to maybe like a noose, you know?
Yeah,
Like you have zero joy in your life,
I I guess.
that like
But
that's not gonna end up well at all.
yeah,
Like she's dead, a hundred
I
percent.
see your point, but I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, you're right. She could, unalive herself
I don't.
because
absolutely.
My one thought on this: why are whether that's true in the first movie or not does not really have any bearing on our thoughts of Inside Out 2.
What are you talking about?
well,
That's
I mean,
everything to do with
the
it.
whole reason we got here is because Raiden was talking about how like the lesson learned was like the same thing. And to some extent,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree, but I don't know. I feel like it's almost just like more complex now. Like,
When your characters are emotions, there's only so much you can do plot wise from the get go.
that's true.
That's true. Like the character's only literally gonna feel one thing.
Also, remember, you're in the constraints of a kids' movie, so you're
That's
not
true.
going to get a plot akin to the Batman 2.
But no, I was totally expecting Inside Out 2 to be a noir crime thriller.
Although, and actually, that one quote from Braden a little bit ago, that was, the emotions only feel one emotion. Joy actually proved that was false in this movie.
No,
That's
I
true.
know that was
That's true.
crazy. Oh,
Dude, the
Yeah,
scene where Joy
that's
just
true.
started, the scene where Joy just broke was hilarious.
Honestly, that might be the best scene in the movie.
it reminds me of like if you've ever had like a teacher who like always tries to put on a personality, but like there's always like that one kid who like pushes them and keeps pushing and pushing and needling until eventually they just
Oh,
fucking.
like Mr. O'Brien this year.
I've never had
Dude,
O'Brien.
no, O'Brien like went to a mental hospital.
Oh, right, because we got
Yeah.
Cosgrove it. Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, like like the
Y'all,
class drove him insane enough to where he literally went to a psych ward.
uh,
did the viewers need to know this?
Yeah, It's important in the context.
Yeah.
Trust.
But anyway, how do we even get
I
right?
love
We're
to
talking
see
about how
Inside
Joy
Out in
broke.
like the mind of a serial killer.
That's where she delivered the hardest quote of the entire movie too.
Oh yeah, the one you posted on Private General.
Yep.
Do you want to read it or should I?
You can.
Okay. So it goes, quote, I don't know how to stop anxiety. Maybe that's what happens when you grow up. You feel less joy.
Dude, talk his shit. That's the realest thing I've ever heard.
Dude,
Disney and Pixar both struck so deep with that one.
dude.
Honestly, dude.
Everything about this plot was perfect. Even the fact that like anxiety being arguably the main bad guy emotion.
But like I like how I mean they make anxiety like a super unlikable character, especially in like the third act. But she never or did they even assign anxiety a gender? I don't know.
I don't recall, to tell you the truth.
I don't remember.
No, it's an it. What do you mean? It's
Okay.
Pride Month. Come on, Evan. Be inclusive.
That's why I'm asking. I'm making sure. I'm making sure. So anyway, I feel like when anxiety was like anxiety never wanted to hurt Riley. Like obviously they did, but like anxiety had good intentions throughout the whole thing. And
Yeah,
just the
that
fact
much I
that
will agree.
they had a tyrannical reign was like just sort of it's like you're trying it's like you're doing too much and like you're so caught up in the moment that you're not like necessarily conscious of the harm that you're causing. So I guess my point is I don't know if I consider anxiety a villain to the same degree as like Syndrome from The Incredibles. But
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
the acts were villainous, but the intentions were not. So
But I mean, I guess you could also argue that for other villains that have like
yeah, I was
Like,
gonna
it-
say Disney loves to do that, like that type of villain.
right. It's not like a Voldemort character where they're just evil for the sake of being evil.
No,
Yeah,
I wish we had that. Like just a dark emotion. Just like
the dark secret.
dude, imagine he turned out to be like wrath or like gluttony. Just like killed Riley's life.
Oh my god.
That would not
Dude.
fit the theme of those
Dude,
movies at
dude.
all.
That's an Inside Out 3 emotion.
Well, they showed off nostalgia, so
Yo, nostalgia was great. Honestly,
you
top
guys
10
in
acting.
2030.
Well, that's the thing. Like, do we think that we're getting an Inside Out 3?
No, because then they'd have to add emotions like horny. Like you don't want that in a kids movie.
We were talking about that earlier.
You don't want that.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Well,
do you-
if you go into the mind of like an 18-year-old, that's what you're gonna get.
but
You're basically
Anyway,
You're just asking for it. That
well, actually, how old was she in the first movie?
I think she was like 8, right?
I can fact check that. Let's see.
The reason I asked
She
is it
was
would probably
young.
be a similar time jump. If we're gonna make a third movie, that is.
She was 11.
Okay, so 3-year jump, so she'd be 16.
16 would be an interesting age to tackle.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I mean, you could do like all sorts of shit with that. I mean,
What do you mean by that, Evan?
That's not podcast material.
yeah, I wasn't even like referring to that. I was more referring. I mean, like, yes, you could, but I was more
Depends
referring to
on-
like at this point when you're 16, you're what? You're a June? No, you're a sophomore or junior, I guess, depending on when your birthday falls. So at this point, she'd be halfway through high school. Theoretically, she'd be on the Firehawk team at this point because we don't know for sure if she got in just because of the ending of the second one. But I feel like even if she didn't get in, she probably would like, spend her time training, getting better and then, getting in eventually. And at that point she's probably, getting her permit or her license. There's probably a lot more drama going down at her school. And at this point her emotions have probably even like further developed,
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, even like I guess even what realistically would make sense for a plot aside, I feel like we can all agree that they would do an Inside Out 3 purely just for the like money aspect, because
Absolutely.
both movies, I think, did Inside Out 1 made over $1 billion, right? Inside Out 1.
Well, it's like one of their biggest movies ever. I'm pretty.
The first Inside Out film, which released in theaters in 2015, grossed 90.4 million during its opening weekend and tallied more than 850 million at the global. Okay, so it was just shy of $1 billion. But I don't know. I mean, they released it at like Inside Out 2. I mean, they released it at a perfect time to where I feel the box office, it's right before summer. So, kids are getting off school. I mean, hell, my little sister just saw it today, actually, with one of her friends. And actually, I was looking at the seat, like, selector thing on the app. And it was full, like, full to the brim. And this was just a standard showing. It wasn't even, like, a fancy format, like IMAX or RPX. So I'm sure it's making like a ton of money. I mean, we don't obviously we're recording this on Friday the 14th. The movie only officially came out today, so we don't have opening weekend box office numbers yet, but I'm sure it's gonna I wouldn't be shocked if it makes $1 billion by the end of its run.
Well, yeah. I mean,
The theaters here were like, at least on Thursday most were full, but on Friday they were more free than you would expect. Now, granted that might pick up this weekend now. Or sorry, I said that completely wrong. I got my days wrong. Anyway, yeah, when I saw it yesterday, at least the theater was not as full as you would have expected for it being opening night of a pretty dang successful first Pixar movie.
Right. Well, I feel like part of the thing is because me and Brian saw it on Thursday. I mean, separately, but we saw it on Thursday during like the the I don't know what you call it, like the premiere showing. I feel like not everybody like even knows that necessarily exists, like that's a thing for a lot of movies because they're always advertised as like that Friday, like the main opening. So I feel like that combined with the fact that the movie's target demographic either has like it's either a school night for them or those Thursday showings are usually later in the day, so like it could be like past their bedtime or whatever. So I feel like that might be part of the reason that it didn't really kick off until Friday. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see your point.
very true.
I don't know. Also, this is something I was actually talking to my mom about earlier today. Did you guys notice that how like Pixar normally has like a short before the actual movie itself?
Are you referring to the silence your phones thing?
No. Like they'll do like an actual like animated short before the movie usually. Like I think for What are there more recent ones like the Lava trailer or Lava
I
trailer?
definitely did not see that in my showing.
Well, that's my point. That Inside Out 2 was like the first theatrically released Pixar movie in a while to not have one.
You can tell I haven't seen a lot of the prior Pixar movies in theaters.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing because this is why I was saying off camera that Pixar really needed a financial win and I guess like, a win rating wise too, but definitely financially because their last few movies I think what what was the 2023 that was Elemental. Elemental was in theaters for I feel like it didn't have theater exclusivity for a while. And before that was Lightyear, which was the same deal. And before that, wasn't it like it was either Soul or Turning Red, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think it was Turning Red before and then Soul, right?
yeah, because I want to say Soul was 2020. But my point is, I think both of those movies dropped on Disney Plus like day and date even. Like I think you might have had to pay a fee to watch them, but like you could still stream them, which obviously hurt them financially, but because that opens up other avenues like even people who like maybe one person pays the $30 fee and then like a bunch of like their whole family watches it and obviously that opens up options for piracy. So people are not like getting an HD copy of the movie without contributing to it financially. So I feel like Pixar really needed a movie that actually motivated people to sit down in a theater and pay, however much, 15 per ticket. And right now, at least, last I checked it, I think it was in like the 90s on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see. Yeah, it has a 92 critic score and a 95 audience score.
That's really good.
Actually, that makes me curious. I want to look up Pixar movies ranked by Rotten Tomato score. I'm kind of curious where that falls. So let's see. So the number one Pixar movie is Toy Story 2 at 100%. The original Toy Story is 100%. Finding Nemo is 99. The original Inside Out is 98. I didn't realize how high up these movies were. Jesus. Toy Story 3 is at number 5, 98. Up.
Pixar used to be great.
Yeah, well, you'll notice all of these so far are old Pixar movies. Up, 2008, number 6, 98%. The first, like, somewhat modern Pixar movie, Toy Story 4 from 2019, is at number 7 with 97%. Coco, which is also somewhat modern, so 97, number 8. Turning Red got a 95? Wait.
Does that shock you? Critics loved the movie even though it bombed with audiences.
Yeah, okay. So Turning Red got a 95 critic and a 67 audience. Good lord. Oh, that's crazy. Soul did pretty well. Soul got a 95 critic, 88 audience. That's pretty good. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So, where would you... I mean, I'm guessing neither of you have seen all the Pixar movies, but like... And you don't have to give like a specific number placement, but like, would you rank it like towards like the top, middle, or like bottom of like the Pixar filmography?
I'd rate it in the middle. Like it's kind of like it's not as good as like the golden days of Pixar, but it's not as bad as the recent era of Pixar. So like it's just kind of like falling in the middle there.
Okay.
I'm gonna pretty much agree with that, but still towards the top of the middle because I feel like with how much stuff Pixar has pumped out recently, the average has shifted downward.
Right.
Absolutely.
So what would you consider in that like upper tier then?
Something like Toy Story, Up, Cars.
Cars, yeah. Ratatouille.
Yeah.
I think.
Ratatouille. Incredibles
Oh, dude.
is up there.
Incredibles.
I personally like Soul more than this one. I thought Soul was better. But
Soul
that's a
was a
personal.
really deep one. Like I feel like I was talking to my mom about this earlier too. We were talking like Soul is amazing, but it doesn't feel like a kids movie. Like not that there's anything like mature in it, like content wise, but like the idea of it is like a lot deeper than like say Toy Story. Which I feel like kind of also financially hurt it maybe.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, again, nothing against. I agree, it's great, but I just feel like it's not as accessible. I don't know. I mean, we're
Yeah,
talking
I feel
about
like Soul was dedicated more towards adults. Like it wasn't in that children's movie territory,
right.
but
Okay,
still.
that's a valid take. So, what would you consider your favorite Pixar movie, like of all time?
The For nostalgia and for what I personally love, I have to say the original Cars. I just like the original Cars. It's like the one I can rewatch the most without getting bored. But if I have to go like truly what I think is the best made Pixar movie, I think it's Ratatouille.
I keep forgetting they did Ratatouille. I don't know why I keep thinking that's Disney.
Ratatouille was so good. It was so good.
That was good. What about you, Brian?
Incredibles, probably.
Incredibles was valid too.
Clearly, although honestly, second for me is probably the original Inside Out.
Yeah, you have
Nah.
that rated. I feel like that was rated pretty highly on your letterbox.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't recall exactly what I rated it originally, but it was very high.
I think one of the most underrated Pixar movies is Wall-E.
Yes.
I
Oh,
don't think
Wall-E's
it gets
so
enough credit
good.
because Wall-E's definitely like, if I had the list, it'd be Ratatouille, Cars, and then Wall-E. I loved Wall-E.
Wall-E is
They
amazing.
literally can't speak English, but is the most like outspoken character.
You know what would actually be funny? I wonder if I can. I wonder if it's too late to do this. I'm gonna open. Oh, perfect. I can still do a display capture. I'm gonna see if I can find a Pixar movie tier list maker. And if so, I'm gonna share my. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Okay. Check. Are you both in a position to watch a shared screen over Discord?
Not especially, no.
I am playing Pokemon.
Okay. So, are you cool with me like describing the tiers to you and like just like we do it over voice and then like
Yeah, I
the
can
viewers can
forfeit.
see it?
Just give me a second. Let me see if I can pull it.
Okay. Well, I'll share and then I guess you can just get it on context clues. It should be pretty straightforward. I'll do
All right, share. Can you share it real quick, or do you have to still
Yeah.
find it?
no, I found it. Okay. You should be able to see it now.
Can I interact with it or no?
No. Well, it'll basically be what we did with the Smash Bros podcast where like
I gotcha.
yeah, except this time I'm controlling it. So let me just double check. OBS should be getting this. Okay. So we're just gonna go from like left to right. So we're just gonna stick with the basic S, A, B, C, and D tier. I don't feel like changing that. So the first movie is Up, and we're gonna have to come up with a consensus on this. So where do we think Up ranks?
I say Up goes an A, personally.
What do you think, Brian?
What
Brian,
are the tier options again?
so it's S, A, B, C, and D.
For Up, I'm gonna say A.
A. All right. All right, I agree with that. I need to give Up a rewatch. It's not very fresh in my mind. So, yeah. Yeah, I feel like Up, I remember watching it when I was really little. Like I think we rented the DVD from the library. Yes, I'm that old. Um but
Hello? Can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you.
All right, cool.
All right. Can you see the screen still?
Yeah, I feel like the intro to Up gives it A
Yes.
automatically.
Yes. We actually did a whole and we had to analyze that in my film crit class last semester. Um yeah, that was really good.
Honorably. Like, probably one of the best animated intros ever.
Absolutely. Okay, the next one is the OG Toy Story. Now, I already have my opinion on that. I'm going to place it where I think it goes, but where do you guys think that should go? The original
I
Toy Story.
think now this is probably might be the hottest take ever. I think 2 and 3 are better. 4 is worse. I think 2 and 3 are just objectively better.
I can agree
Uh,
with 2. I don't
I like
know about
3.
3.
I like the daycare. Like, I like the bear. The bear is a great character.
Oh, Lotso? Yeah.
Lotso, because he got.
Yeah.
So personally, I'd put the first Toy Story at the top of A, and then the other, then 2, 3 in S. But that's just me. I understand if you put it in S, because
Well,
it's kind of like the.
I'll let Brian be the tiebreaker then. Where would you rate the OG Toy Story?
S.
S. Okay. So we'll leave it an S, but we'll like the back of S, which obviously doesn't reflect right now because we don't have anything else up there. But
That's fair.
anyway, Monsters University.
Is that the first one?
That's the second one. It's like the prequel. It's
Oh,
when they're in
oh,
college.
I think C. I,
Yeah, I was thinking like C or
it's
B.
it is way weaker than the first one.
I have a lot of nostalgia for this movie, especially. I'm just gonna place it here for now. How that's subject to change. I just want to say my spiel. I got this movie. I bought it on DVD, and this was back when DVD was like streaming wasn't a thing. We actually in our minivan we had a DVD player in there, and we used to well, we still do. We take a lot of long 16-hour road trips throughout the year. So I would watch this thing on repeat. And it even got to the point where there was one time we were watching it, and just for fun, I changed the language to Spanish or something. But I literally had the movie screenplay memorized just purely from watching the movie on repeat. So while they were saying everything in Spanish with the dub cast or whatever, I was able to I had everything on lock. I don't know, it was funny. But anyway, so you said C.
Yeah, personally.
What do you think, Brian?
I'm going to agree with C there.
Okay. All right. I'll allow that. Finding Dory.
Oh. C, right off the bat.
Yep.
Yeah,
He can't even see my screen, so yep.
yeah, that movie buns.
Yeah. See, all right. I feel like we got to reserve D for
Good
we'll get
dinosaur.
to
Just
it.
put it there. No, just put it there. Just put the good dinosaur in D. We don't even have to just.
Okay. Okay.
That's if you disagree with that, you're wrong.
Okay.
That's a
Finding
wrong
Nemo.
opinion. That's S or A. I don't really know.
Really? S or A. Okay. See, I respect it for the technical achievement, obviously with the underwater animation. But I don't know. What do you think, Brian? Where
A, I'd say.
A? Okay.
Yeah, I
I
agree with
think
that.
it's a Pixar classic. I don't think it's like perfect, but
I don't think it beats up.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Oh, okay, this is gonna be controversial. I think we actually debated this on
S
like the first. I
S.
no, it's not the one you're thinking of. It's the second one.
Oh, Cars 2?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, never mind. That's
I mean,
D.
I
That is
agree.
way down there.
No, it's not going in
That's
D.
dude. Cars 2 is ass.
Oh no, this is a whole can of
How do you
worms.
how
That
how do you go from Cars 1, which is about defeating an obnoxious asshole in a race, to a cosmic like international spy thriller that has oil companies trying to extract trying to blow up race cars so that people buy their oil, and the main villain is like this international oil mafia guy who's like, and like honestly like too much Mater. Like I don't need Mater. Like he's an annoying guy. Like he's a great in Cars 1 because there's not a lot of Mater. There's too much Mater in Cars 2. The movie's awful and it's just not funny. It just goes in D.
See, this one I also owned on DVD, and I also watched it on repeat when I was like,
Also, Finn McMissile is the worst spy of all time.
"Whoa, that's Michael Caine you're trashing."
Also, that's a stupid looking car. like, like,
What, Finn
like,
McMissile?
like, what?
No, he's designed to like kind of look like the Aston Martin from James Bond. You literally saw that car in person when we went
Yeah,
to
I
the
know.
museum.
Like when he jumps into the water, why does he? How he gets rid of his tires? How does he expect to drive afterwards?
I don't know. He gets
It's
like
gonna be a hump of metal on the side of the road. And if the first cars clearly explain that tires like they can move them, like they're their arms, and he just gets rid of them. like, like we're not addressing that plot hole.
well, no, I think he still has like the axles. I think the tires are like a glove.
No, that's not how that works. You can't like
I'm pretty sure that's how
no.
it works.
So you're just gonna have little stubs and just like sit on the ground. They can't move without the tires. That's like taking a disabled person's prosthetic leg and telling him to walk. That's what that's doing.
Okay. Uh, Brian, where would you rank Cars 2?
D.
I'm telling you,
B, probably.
B. Okay. Just, it really hurts me to do this, but I, just to like be
Between
fair
MU
with an
and Dory.
average. Oh no, it's going upper C. It's
The
going upper
movie's
C.
ass though.
Yeah, but it's 2v1. We can come back to it. We can come back to it. But for now, I'm keeping it there. OG Incredibles.
That's an S.
Yep. And I'm assuming Brian called it his favorite Pixar movie, so I'm assuming you agree, right? Oh,
It's a good film.
okay.
Such good insight.
Ratatouille.
S.
I'm thinking
I thought
A.
That's an
I'd say
S movie.
I'd say S as well.
Really? Okay, I'll keep it at the bottom of S.
Just
No.
because Ratatouille is like, I don't know, it's one of the all-time great Pixar movies to me, at least.
Wait a
I'd say
second.
move Toy Story below the other two.
I was just about to ask. Yeah. I don't know if I
It's
want
Ratatouille's better than the first Toy Story. 100%.
to. All right, I'll humor you. All right. Cars.
Original Cars?
Yep.
That's S.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's gonna argue with that. Cars 3.
That's a solid B.
Any objections, Brian?
Nah.
Cars 3B. Bugs Life.
I
C.
also think that's a solid B.
You said C?
Yeah.
I think B, personally. I'd rather watch that than Cars 2 and Monsters University.
Okay, I'll put it at the bottom of B. We'll compromise. Incredibles 2.
I think we're on a B rampage because that's also no, that's a C.
No, it's not C. I'd put it B. I was thinking A or B. Maybe
Well,
not
I'd
A, but maybe B.
I'm pretending Cars 2 doesn't exist right now because I'd rather watch Monsters University than Incredibles 2.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, and I think it goes right between those two.
What, Incredibles 2?
No, yeah. Incredibles 2 goes between MU and Cars 2.
I'd watch Incredibles 2 before MU.
I wouldn't.
Listen, I compromised enough by putting Cars 2 down there. That hurts my soul to see it down there. We're not moving anything else.
It hurts my soul to see it up there.
Listen, if I had it my way, Cars 2 would have been an S. So, like, it's closer to D than it is S. So, you're good. Wally.
That's a nice.
S, easy.
All right. Original Monsters Incorporated.
A.
I'm
Top A.
below Up, I think, right?
Up's in A for the intro, but the rest of Up is kind of mid. But I feel like Monsters Inc. is solid throughout.
Okay. Fair enough. OG Inside Out.
I think top of A.
Yeah, I agree with that. Any objections so far, Brian?
Nope.
Oh, actually, you're going to have a lot to say about this one, I think. Coco.
A.
I would say S.
Oh, it's definitely not S. Spanish Class ruined this movie for me.
It's even though I know you had to watch it a ton in Spanish class, it's still a good movie.
It's such a good movie, dude.
We'll put it at the bottom.
Whoa. No.
I would,
Not the bottom of A. I
Listen.
would not rather watch Finding Nemo than Poco.
listen, if I had it my way, it would be here. Because I'd rather watch all of these.
You'd rather watch Finding Dory than Coco?
Yes. I say that with a straight face.
No.
So I will humor you and put it at the bottom of A.
No.
Yes.
It's at least like above it's like above Up.
I will move Finding Nemo back
That's
one,
fair. That's fair.
but Up.
Also, can we change the S tier? Because I think Wall-E's better than Toy Story.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. Toy Story 2.
That's above Wall-E.
I would even say it's above Ratatouille.
That's a little far.
What do you think, Brian? Wall-E or fuck, what am I saying? Toy Story 2 or Ratatouille?
Ratatouille is better, in my opinion, at least.
All right.
Uh-huh.
2v1. Toy Story
Honestly?
3.
Hold up.
I don't.
What?
Honestly, I think Wall-E's better than Toy Story 2.
Do you second that?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Wall-E's probably top 5 overall.
Yeah. I feel like Toy Story 3 goes above the other toy. I don't know how I feel about Toy Story 3.
Personally, it's my least favorite of that original trilogy. I mean, obviously, I think it's better than 4, but
I don't really have much of an opinion on Toy Story 3 because I don't remember that much about it, to be honest.
Personally, nostalgia-wise, it's the one I watched the most. I'm down to put it like below Inside Out. Like above Monster. I say below Monsters Inc. too.
okay. Yeah, I like that. Because I would watch it before these, I think. Well, maybe not. Well, yeah. Okay. Brave.
Coco's hurting me, having it that low in A.
Oh, really? I think it's perfect. Hold on.
I think I'd rather watch Coco
Quick. I didn't
than
know.
Toy Story 3.
Did Pixar make... Oh, yeah, they did. Okay. Yeah, they did make Brave.
Yeah,
Okay.
nobody liked it.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
No, Good Dinosaur's worse.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Any objections to that?
it's
Nope.
in D, by the way.
Yeah. Onward. I'm thinking.
I'm thinking C, top of
Really?
C.
Top of C?
Over Cars 2 and Dory? Absolutely.
It's not going above Cars 2. I'm just telling you right now that's not happening. I will put it above Dory. But no, I will sooner. No, no, it's not going above Cars 2. I will put it right below. Toy Story 4.
D.
It's not that bad. I'd
It's
say
pretty fucking bad.
I'd say like I'd even go. I'd go upper C or B or low B.
I say right above Cars 2.
Where would you rank Toy Story 4, Brian?
I have not even seen Toy Story 4 to show my opinion on the movie.
You're
Really?
not missing much.
Yeah, I remember watching it on a cruise ship. Actually, it was pretty valid. Soul. We were talking about this earlier.
I think that goes above Monsters, Inc.
Yeah,
I feel like I'd rather watch Inside Out because I think Inside Out's just a better version of Soul.
right. I feel like it's like the more accessible version.
Yeah, but I think Soul's message is probably one of the best Pixar has.
Yeah, that's fair. Have you seen Soul, Brian?
Nope.
No.
You're getting to the section of Pixar movies that I have not watched.
Well,
Yeah,
actually,
these next three I haven't seen.
yeah, I have not. Oh, you haven't seen Lightyear?
No.
I haven't seen
just heard it's
Luca
awful.
Turning Red or Elemental, but I have seen Lightyear. Brian, have you seen either Luca Turning Red or Elemental?
I saw Elemental.
Oh, you did.
hmm I think it's like top of B.
Okay.
Like it's actually not terrible.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
Actually, now that I'm looking at that, I'd rather watch Cars 3 and A Bug's Life. Okay, maybe drop it down to C.
Like upper C.
Um, yeah, I like it there.
Okay. Have you seen Luca or Turning Red, Brian?
No.
Or Lightyear? And you said you haven't seen either of these, Braeden?
No.
Okay. So we just won't even rank them then. Lightyear. I actually own this on 4K Blu-ray.
Look at the Rotten Tomatoes for Lightyear just real quick, Evan.
Okay. That's not even too bad.
That's actually pretty good. For all
It's
the
not as
shit
high
that's
as their
going
other
online.
ones, but I liked it. You know what I'm curious about? I'm curious what it's averaging on Letterboxd. Let's see. Oh, did I fuck that up? There we go.
Oh.
Okay, so it's like literally right down the middle.
Yeah, that's not great.
Okay. Well, with that in mind, I think I'd put it here.
Okay.
I've seen it. I think I've seen it twice. I saw it once in the theater and once at home. Yeah, I like that. Inside Out 2, they didn't add, but where, just for fun, where would we put that?
I feel like it's below Toy Story 3.
Oh, so between Toy Story 3 and up.
Yeah.
I like that.
Which I still think you did Coco very dirty.
I think you did Cars 2 dirty.
Well, Cars 2 is consensually ass. Coco's like consensually amazing. So you'd think who's wrong? Coco is F.
No, it's not S.
Coco is not F. Out of here.
S. S. Not F.
We don't even have an F tier.
If we did, Good Dinosaur would be down there. That movie is so bad. It hurts.
I I remember. I think we rented The Good Dinosaur from Redbox or something when it originally came out, and I don't remember it. I know I've seen it, but I don't remember like anything that goes down in that movie.
Just watch The Croods. That's basically what it is, but worse.
Is The Croods DreamWorks?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
Croods is an underrated animated movie.
I respect that. So, any other objections to the list before we concrete it?
Mm, I think I think Cars 2 is a little too high.
Besides Cars 2's placement?
Not really. I kind of feel like Bug's Life is better than the other three in B tier.
Yeah, that's another one that I haven't seen in like probably like 10 years.
I think Bug's Life is better than Cars 3. Personally.
Well, okay, I'll do it just because of like the technical achievement that it like accomplished. Like it was one of the, like for the time, the amount of like 3D assets that they had like moving in one single frame was like revolutionary.
Yeah, it was like insane, and it was a movie about bugs. Like
Yeah.
that's not something that you're usually like, holy shit,
Right.
look at the ants.
This isn't
But
some National Geographic documentary.
but for the time, yeah, that's like ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. Are we otherwise solid?
I'm happy with it.
I like that. Okay, cool. Let's see, what are we at? Okay, yeah, we're right under an hour. Okay. I think we did good. I think we did good. Any other last minute inputs on anything?
I think The Good Dinosaur was a little too high.
Listen,
The Good Dinosaur was way too high. I can't believe it even made the list, to be honest. The fact that it had a picture is really upsetting me because now I have to remember that that movie exists.
bro, what's your problem with the movie?
It is the only movie that I've ever seen in theaters and fallen asleep to.
Mm.
That's how bad it was.
See, for me, the only movie that did that to me was The Zone of Interest.
There's a reason nobody's ever heard of that movie.
Mm.
There's a reason that movie's irrelevant. But The Good Dinosaur isn't irrelevant. It's relevant because people like to hate on it. Like that's when you know you've created a terrible movie. Like the only publicity it gets is people shitting on how bad it is.
That's very fair.
And usually you get like a so terribly bad movie that people love it, like Shrek, or you get a movie that is so terribly done that it's just bad. Like you can't even meme it. It's just terrible. Like Good Dinosaur. That's my take on Good Dinosaur.
Okay. Okay. That's fair.
I have no real opinion on this whatsoever.
Have you seen it?
No.
No. What was?
Yeah, you should go watch it. I recommend it.
Do you have this Disney Plus?
Yes.
I don't know why I'm like slurring my words all of a sudden. You should. I'm trying to think. Which of these movies? You should give Lightyear a try, both of you. I feel like I understand that Lightyear has gotten some negative attention since its release, but I don't know. I liked it. I had a good time with it.
Fair enough.
it felt like it was basically Pixar's version of like a sci-fi like adventure movie. It's like the whole premise is Lightyear is the movie that Andy saw that made him wish for the Buzz Lightyear action figure.
Gotcha.
So like what you are watching is what Andy saw, which I don't know, I think that's a cool premise. But that's just me. But I don't know. Anyway, any other last minute comments before I wrap this thing up?
No.
Yeah. I feel like yeah, I feel like we hit everything. We got a little bit of everything Pixar related into that one. All right.
I feel like Pixar's covered.
Yeah. That felt good though. I mean, with a studio like Pixar, yeah, there's a lot to talk about with that, and I feel like we hit the nail on the head. So I'm happy with it. So anyway, we'll wrap that up there, folks. If you made it this far, thank you for listening to us argue about Pixar movies for 59 minutes. Make sure to like and subscribe. This is Evan signing off. I'll let you get to say any last words before I stop.
Bye.
Thank you all for watching.
That too.